This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
This episode of the broadcast and the podcast is brought to you by Arrow. The next generation error reduction and mitigation system. For more information, go to arrowhp.com.
Well, hello and welcome to Safety FM. This is Jay Allen. Can you believe it? It's the last day of 2019. So I really don't know where I want to go with this episode because I know it's right around the holiday season still, and it's the last day of the year. So there's some things that you should be doing out there, especially enjoying your time out and about. But I just wanted to take a few moments and really just have a discussion with you and not, let's say, for instance, do a year in review, because I feel like everybody's doing that and some other people are doing a decade in review. But I just really wanted to have a conversation and say thank you, first off, for the year that you have given us. The amount of listeners that we've had come on, take a listen to the show, the amount of people that have allowed us to interview them and have this conversation about safety. I think we have been having these conversations so frequently that we forget some of the people that are coming on and having these discussions with us about the different things they're seeing in the safety world. I don't ever take it for granted the opportunity that I have in the people that I get to interview during the time. I always find it amazing that people reach out, want to be on the show, and have discussions about what's going on in the world of safety. We have been so blessed this year with the additions to some of the shows that we've added onto the network itself. Some of the people that have come onto the network that I never expected that'd be even willing to come onto the network to have their show broadcast on safetyfm.live. And the only reason that this was able to happen was because of you, the listener, and driving people to come to our network to be part of the community that we have with other safety people. Now, I will tell you, some people listen to the station and they enjoy what's on there, and they contact us and go, Jay, not everything on there is about human and organizational performance. Not everything that's on there is about behavior-based safety. Not everything that's on there is about system safety. And let me tell you, this has been by design. There hasn't been a reason why we have stuck to one format. The reason is we wanted the people that you were interested in listening to come on to the network. That be it the hosts that come on, that be it the guests that come on. We want to be a place that you can come to and take a listen to what's going on inside of the safety industry. Did not ever want to limit you on what you could listen to here on the great year of 2019 of what's going on Safety FM. Now, I'll tell you, we've had all kinds of interesting things occur this year. We did some live streams from some of the workshops that were out there. We've done some road shows this year. We were able to do some things that just we never expected to be able to do. And that was because you, the listener, requested for us to do so. Now, I'll tell you, as we move forward into 2020, we're going to continue to do some of our normal standard craziness because that's never going to change. And the reason that we want to do this is because we want to build the community with safety professionals. And I've started to notice more and more that it's not just safety professionals, it's also people in the business world that have come out and started reaching to us and taking a listen to what we have going on. Now, I'll tell you, this year, I have felt like I have been on the road so much in regards of going out there and having communications about literally what's going on in the safety world. And it's been such a pleasure to be able to meet so many of you out there on the road and further some of these discussions. And I'll tell you, some of these discussions that we've had and some of these speeches and workshops that I've been to, and even some of the ones that we've conducted, have actually had you come onto the show, which I have found amazing that you'd be really even wanting to come on. But I think that some of the messaging that we have as our community continues to grow of Safety FM is important for all of us to be able to listen to. Now, I'll tell you, this year we came so close on cracking total of 20 million listeners. And remember, that's downloads, streams, so on. Don't know how those numbers are actually done, but it's been amazing just to be able to see it. And I know a lot of people want to sit around and have the conversation of, it's not competitive. It's the more the merrier, whatever you want to look at it. I always find it interesting that so many people are intrigued and interested in what we have to say. Now, keep in mind that I'm talking about the network itself. But the important part here that I continue to look at, regardless of how many people are listening, is how we continue as a community to be able to grow. And how we all continue to try to get people home safe. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give you a retrospective of everything that we've done over the last year. I mean, you've heard the different interviews that we've been able to perform, the ones that we've done with just numerous people. I know that we can sit here and talk about the different shows that we did with the different guests. Now, I have to tell you, a lot of the response that we got this year, though, was pretty interesting. Because there was a couple of different episodes that really stuck out that got a lot of attention. And one of the ones, and I guess it was because it was a multi-part series, that really stuck out was, how did it all start? Referencing on how HOP started, or Human and Organizational Performance. So I appreciate the amount of listeners that went out of their way to take a listen to that. There was also some intrigue about the things that were going on with the Florida DOT on how they were doing some of the things that were related to the autonomous vehicles. Found that pretty intriguing. Also, this year was a year of firsts. Like I like to tell people, we were able to actually produce several audiobooks this year. Some that stick out, of course, would be some of the Todd Conklin books that came out on audio. We were also able to do the book for Tabitha Laser. I mean, it's been a pretty interesting year. We've had different people come on, different sponsors come on. We fell in love with Advanced Error Reduction in Organizations, also known as AERO, which has now become one of our main sponsors for the show. And I'm talking about the show itself. Now, the interesting part here is that we continue to grow thanks to you. So I want to take this time and tell you how thankful I am for the things that you have done for us here at Safety FM and our safety community. Now, what I'm going to do here for the next year, or as we go into 2020, I am going to continue to attempt to grow the station. I want it to be the radio station that you're looking for. I want it to be the radio station that you're able to turn to and listen to the different voices that are there and the different people that assist grow the station. And you know the shows. The Pre-Accident Investigation with Dr. Todd Conklin. The Safety Consultant with Sheldon Primus. The Accidental Safety Pro with Jill James. The Crucial Talks podcast with Mike Saddam. The Safety Pro podcast with Blaine J. Hoffman. The Rated R Safety Show, and of course the show that I host, the Safety FM Show, which I know sometimes that causes a little bit of market confusion. And next year, we already have a show that's starting off right there on the 16th of January. That'll be the Essential Leadership Cycle podcast with Rob Fisher. Now, keep in mind that this is not just the only shows that we want to have on there. We want to join others who are out there in the podcasting world to come on. And we want them to come on and have a platform. Now, I'm going to tell you, not everything that we're going to be adding next year will be on the radio station starting off. I mean, at some point, I would assume that it will be. But starting off, it won't. We're going to have some new podcasts come in. They'll just be podcasts themselves that will essentially join safetyfm.live. Now, the other portion that I want you to think about too is it is a radio station. So you can download an app called Safety FM on the Google Play Store, on the Apple App Store, and also as an Alexa skill. And you can play those all the time. Now, we do have some music that we play from time to time, not all the time, because I'm just not sure what kind of music you're looking for. I might like hip-hop music, and you might like rock music. I might like electronica, and you might like opera. You know, so I don't ever want to lock in music, but I'm always willing and wanting to expand it on what you want to listen to. The other portion, there has been some requests for call-in shows. And I really think that this is a great idea for us to do this. But I really want to have a better understanding on who you're looking for to host it. Of course, that's going to be a time commitment for the host. It's going to be a time commitment for you, the listener. So I want to make sure that it's worthwhile where we have an open format. Now, I'll tell you, I've been talking to some pretty interesting people about doing a format like that. But it's all about how much time we can commit. Because I just don't want it to be where, hey, it's a call-in show and nobody's calling. Or there's just one. I mean, I know one can factor a big thing, but if you do it once a month, okay, I guess you can pull it off that way. But we want to make sure that it's concurrent and that it has an effect to what you're doing. Anyways, that's kind of a little bit of a tidbit of 2020. Don't want to go into too much of a spiel there. But I want you to think about this. Think about what you want to see come out of Safety FM, the radio station aspect, starting next year. So as of this episode, we're only 2 weeks away for us to have the discussion on what's going to occur on episode 100 of Safety FM. I'm really excited about sharing the information with you. We'll see what you think once it actually comes about. But it's pretty interesting. All I can tell you is that I truly do love everything that you guys have done for us as a safety network here at safetyfm.com and at safetyfm.live, depending on how you want to look at it. I hope I get to see more of you as 2020 comes about. I don't want to give a decade reference of, oh, we're going to do the decade of reference and review and all that stuff. You know how I am. I just want to have the normal conversation. I really do hope that you have a great New Year's Eve, have a great retrospect of what you've accomplished over the last year, and set your goals high for what you want to accomplish in 2020. I really hope that during the 2020 year that you and I get to meet if we haven't met before, that becomes more than just the one-sided conversation where you get to hear me speak. I would love to have some interaction with you via email, our little messaging robot on our network that you can contact if you go to safetyfm.com. Even emails. I'll tell you, I read all the emails that people send in. I know that not all of them we reply to because some of them don't require a response, but we do try to respond to as many as possible. Anyways, I told you that today would be short, so I'm going to cut it right now around this time. Hopefully it will be less than 16 minutes for you. Really do appreciate everything that you do out there. I have been your safety manager and host, signing out for the last time this year of 2019. And until next time, be safe, and I'll see you in 2020.
The countdown has begun on January 14th, 2020. Find out only on Safety FM.
Why are we doing an essential leadership podcast? What does it mean? What's it going to be centered around, and why should leaders listen to it? To target some of the leadership attributes of human and organizational performance, personality, diversity, that will give leaders an opportunity to listen to in short bursts and then give them something that they can actually do in their organization.
Over 25 years helping leaders reducing errors and incidents. Here is your host of the Essential Leadership Cycle podcast, Rob Fisher.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.